I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, March the 31st, brought to you in part by Rio Max 360, the tub that pays for itself. With forage savings of 15 to 30%, the value of that alone pays for the product. For more information, go to RioMax.com. Cattle, grains, and war, they're all connected with kind of a pulley system, and normally it's just cattle and grains. But the grains are just so touchy with anything that's said or talked about or seen on the news about the war, and then your grains respond to that, and then your cattle responds to that, mostly the feeder cattle. But right now the live cattle are just kind of tagging along with the feeder cattle because for the next couple of weeks here they don't really know what direction they want to go in either, so they just kind of drift right along with your feeder cattle. And in the session that we had on Wednesday, it was exactly the same for your spot months there. But you know, that is awful frustrating. You know, for a couple of days here early in the week, we had some talk that Putin was going to back off you know, some of the cities and do some things like that. Turned out to just be a head fake and didn't do that at all. But as there was talk of maybe the war in Ukraine kind of subsiding or some peace talks going on and everything, gosh, we thought, you know, grains were going to go to nothing. They were just falling completely out of bed. But then whenever we saw that, you know, whatever he was saying, he was just lying about, and went right back on with the bombs and everything, and killing of innocent people and women and children and displacing people and all that. As soon as that came back, we saw that on Wednesday, then your corns go right back up. So that's the way that goes. And of course your feeder cattle always hinge on your grains, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. I'm not going to talk a whole lot more about the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, but please support this bill. It is active. It's dropped on Congress right now. We're trying to find out when we're going to have some hearings with the Ag Committee, then who's going to be assigned to go and testify on those, and then the Ag Committee will make their decision on what they say, and then we'll have a vote after that. But I really believe it's something that could save the industry. I think it'll save the sale barns, and you guys know I'm a sale barn junkie, and that's my angle there. Is I think it'll save the sale barns, because if we continue to lose negotiated trade in your direct fat cattle region, then that is just a direct trickle right down to no negotiation on big feeder cattle. Then it's going to go to your calves, and then pretty much everything will just be completely contracted from weaning all the way to slaughter, just like your pigs are right now. So I really don't think that anybody that's involved in the cattle business wants to see that, other than you know, just a board, you know, a group with your big corporates or your packers. Of course, they like to see it because all they want is the bottom line. But for our families, people that are out there that have been doing this for generations and generations, I don't think anybody wants to see that. And I don't care what side you're on or which trade group you support, but here's something right here in front of us that we can get that will help. It will preserve, at the very least, it will preserve what little negotiated trade we have right now. And so it won't go completely to nothing in Texas, because it will hold what we've had right now, and then after that, they have an economist come in there and look at it, then they will make the stance to increase it. How much? We don't know how much that is until they do the research, but we sure want to hold these slim levels that we have right now and encourage continued trade in the northern plains. But let's talk about your board on Wednesday. April live cattle were down 72 cents at 140.17. June down 47 at 138 even. Your back months are a little mixed on live cattle, from down 60 to up 12 cents. March feeder cattle were down the same as April live cattle, down 72 cents at 155.97. April was down 67 cents at 163.67. Your back months on feeder cattle were all down from 50 cents to 132, and it was all because your grains were up after being down big earlier in the week. Corn was up 11 3/4 cents at 7.38. Beans up 21 cents at 16.64. Kansas City hard red winter wheat up 20 cents is all at 10.44.5. Fat cattle trade, we saw the bulk of the trade on Wednesday, especially in the southern plains, and more trade in Texas than we've seen for most of the weeks here in the recent past. But the northern plains, they're not completely all in. They know that some of those plants up in the northeastern part of your 5-area feeding region, or that touch that, like your Illinois plants and some of those plants up in the Kansas and going up further north, they're a little short of cattle, and so they're kind of holding back. They're not wanting to do that. But what we've sold so far has been absolutely steady. So we want to see at least hanging in there, or maybe building on that. But Iowa, about 1,200 head confirmed is all on Wednesday at 139, and dress sales from 222 to 225. That's all of steady. Nebraska 5,500 is all 138 to 140, 221 to 222. I did hear some trade in Colorado at 140. So they're far enough north that they know that the packers need the cattle. The southern plains, they're just trying to stay current and move cattle. They got an opportunity to move them at steady money at 138, so that's what they did. Kansas moved about 11,800 on Wednesday. Texas just short of 9,000 head on Wednesday, and all those at 138. Box beef cutout values continue to increase, and they should as we roll in here to spring and into the grilling season. But choice cuts 266.54, that was up 204. Selects up 262 at 257.46. Your slaughter running along at a pretty good clip here, 369,000 through the first 3 days of the week. That was up 3,000 from the same point last week, up 15,000 from the same week a year ago. Livestock Risk Services is a professional group, and then they've got several locations, several agents that are well versed in helping you get an LRP, Livestock Risk Protection Insurance policy there. And guys, you just have to protect yourself anymore. It's too volatile anymore, and you might just be turning a load or two of cattle out on grass for the summer. Still, you want to sleep at night, maybe take a little trip and not be worrying about it the whole time. But you get a hold of Livestock Risk Services. Just tell them what you've got. You don't have to know anything. Just tell them what you got, how many cattle you got, what they're weighing. They'll kind of ask you where you want to be, where you're comfortable at on them, and they'll tell you what the policy is going to cost you. And then you can get some help with government assistance to help pay that premium, and it's a pretty good deal. But you need to be dealing with people that know what they're talking about. Livestock Risk Services has those people. Talk about your feeder cattle market on Wednesday. Real-time index through DV auction based on an 800-pound cash steer in your sale barns up through the middle 12 states. 156.02 late on Wednesday. That was up $1.16. Real-time index brought to you by Margin Tracks by Midcon, and all your sales are higher. Now your real-time index based on an 800-pound steer just up $1.16, but your stockers and your calves, there's been enough ripple in the market here the last couple of weeks, and the grains backing off and going this way and then that way. It's actually given your cattle backgrounders just a little bit of hope that maybe the world's not coming to an end, and so they're getting in. We're getting some moisture in your major grazing areas. Rained, I mean, like cow pissing on a flat rock in the northern part of your Flint Hills on Tuesday. So I mean, we're getting some moisture there. There's going to be something to eat, and guys are getting really excited. Green grass fever is what it is, and it happens every year at this time of year, and everybody wants the same thing. They want calves and they would really like to have some of those middleweight stalker types, those calf weight yearlings that are just a little bit roughed up, got some green condition to them, thinner fleshed, and the kind of cattle that'll really take off when you put them on grass. And that's what's really crazy. So we're not seeing the major increase in markets on your real-time index, because that's a feeder animal. It's mostly on your stalker cattle and calves that are sharply higher, and they're that way everywhere, and receipts are drying up at the exact same time. How about your big sales on Wednesday? OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma, 6,800 head, which is a light for them. Feeder steers $1 to $4 higher. Feeder heifers $3 to $5 higher. Calves $8 to $12 higher. And those stalkers, like I was describing to you a while ago, as much as $15 higher. Dodge City, Kansas, winter livestock there, 3,000 head. Steers, all weights $4 to $6 higher. Heifers $1 to $4 higher. Stick out deal at Dodge City, 62 head, 901 pound steers, bring 150.60. It's a big time quote on 9-weight cattle, guys. Got some interesting other individual quotes from you. How about Wright County Livestock, DV auction customer, brand new barn in a cattle town there. They had a good sale there years ago. It had been closed and tore down, didn't have a sale barn right there in town for many years. They've got a brand new facility back. Wright County Livestock, Mountain Grove, Missouri, had a hell of a sale on Wednesday, including 77 head, 519 pound steers, bring 219.75 in southern Missouri. I'm going to be in southern Missouri here on Thursday night in Salem, Missouri. If you guys want to come around and listen to one of my presentations, I'm going to be there in Salem, Missouri. But a lot of you have already been there, I know, because I've been pretty well covered up in South Missouri, but going to be there here on Thursday night. How about another quote, Stockman's Livestock, Yankton, South Dakota, 71 head, 636 pound steers at $206.50. Wow. But the best quote that I saw anywhere, and I'm a little bit biased, I've never said that I wasn't, but your Ralgro top quote for the day, come out of the sale barn that my grandpa built, 5 States Livestock, Clayton, New Mexico. Really good quote there for them. 67 head, 769 pound steers, bring 162.75 in extreme northeastern New Mexico. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.